Yes, yes, people. G Talks Arsenal, your host for tonight's show here at the Football Takeover for what is a huge game, absolutely massive game in our season. Not only is it obviously a North London derby, but given the last, couple of results, notably the result against Wolves, we really, really do need the 3 points tomorrow. So yeah, here to obviously preview what is a massive game. So I'm obviously joined by Bobby backstage doing his things. He's got all our preview slides
Mr.
ready, which
Bobby.
will be flicking through throughout the show. And obviously, he's there waiting in the wings if I get stuck at all. Partner in crime and brother from another mother, Coach Ali. How you doing, bro?
Yes, I'm very well. Calmed down from the other night. And yeah, clean slate. Let's keep it moving. Let's see what happens.
100%. 100%. I'm just manually posting us on X. And obviously, just below me on the screen where you're watching, we've got Neil, aka Dodsy. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, good man. Good. Managed to calm down a little bit since
Yeah.
the other day. Taken a bit more sort of chill pill. Stayed off a lot of sort of X this week, I think.
Yeah.
Same.
And then a bit of perspective. And back up for smashing Shittingham tomorrow. That'd be good.
Absolutely, absolutely. And obviously, just below Ali on your screen, we've got Nick, aka Geeks. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, very well, thank you. North London derby, it's the one, isn't it? And this is away, eager to get into it, ready for this. We need a good one, don't we? After what's been going,
we do.
We need that sort of boost in the arm, don't we? So yeah, bring it on.
We do. And obviously, like, I think that's what I'm gonna kind of touch on before we get into it, because we was kind of talking about it, obviously, off air. And I've noticed that obviously, drawing to Wolves was, I mean, you just have to go back, people, if you didn't watch it, and watch our reaction show, Wolves to Arsenal 2. I mean, all of us are pretty calm, cool, collected, quite rational. But obviously, the emotions were running high. I mean, I swore a few times. I wasn't best pleased. Ali, Neil, Nick, Brenny all had a little bit of a crash out. But this is football. It just shows how passionate we are, how much we love our club, how much we want our club to do well. I assure you, it's not for clicks, not for anything like that. It's just we're devoted Arsenal fans, and let's be real, it's been a long time since we won the league, man. So we're desperate for it. But what I have noticed over obviously the socials, you saw the absolute, like, obviously you saw the absolute like car crash, the reaction on the timeline, crash outs taking place. But I've noticed a shift. In the Discord, on some of the kind of X group chats, WhatsApp group chats. And I'm not saying people are not necessarily going like, yes, we're going to win the league. But there seems to be a wave of, okay, cool, what's happened. On reflection, it wasn't ideal, but this is how we should approach maybe the rest of the season. This is what we want from the lads, etc., etc. So I'm going to come to you first. I'm going to do it in reverse order, actually. I'm going to come to you first, Nick. How has your roller coaster of emotions, how has that kind of played out from obviously from the result against Wolves of 2-2 to now kind of where you're at, thinking ahead of what is a massive game tomorrow?
I think because we are so desperate for it, so close, so near to the promised land, and you can just see it, and it's like, come on, get it home. It is like the 7 stages of grief, isn't it? You go through, you hit the wall, you're all hysteric, and then and then it's kind of like denial, and then all the rest. You go through the stages, don't you? And now I'm just at the bit now where I'm like, next match. I always said after Wolves, no matter what, the best match that we could have is Tottenham, because I feel like this will be, out of all of our fixtures, this is going to be the biggest barometer for me about whether we're going to get it or not, because how the boys turn up, the temperature, how they go about it, how they go about their business. Are they nervy? Are they angry? How they approach the game? How do we play? How do we break them down? Do we take them on? Because let's not forget, on the other side of this, Tottenham are desperate for a win. They need 3 points, desperate. So take the rivalry aside. Just imagine we weren't North London rivals. Both teams are desperate for a win right now because they need to make sure they don't get sucked into any closer to the relegation zone. and we need it for our title ambitions. So it is real, you know. Do you know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
it is now. It is all about me tomorrow. I'm calm. We can do about it. You know, Mikel can make his plans and he can do his tactics, and then he's stuck on the touchline, right? It's about that the 11 men that take to the field tomorrow and what they do with their time. And that's all any of us can do. And they're either going to go out and crumble, and it's going to be the sticky decline, and we're going to come second, and it's the same old, or the boys are going to start to fight and look like champions, and they're going to show the fan base and they'll stick with us, and we're going to give them something to hear about, you know? Yeah, that's what it is for me. Tomorrow's the barometer. It is the gut check.
Yeah. Okay, I hear you. Neil.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, massive crash out after the Wolves game, because I was oh please, I was dead certain on last week's game, man. I
remember.
You saw me. I was like, these boys are going to go out there. I think going to get those 6 points, and I was let down, man. As a fan, I was let down. And I think that's where my crash out came from. Was you know, they just give you that bit of hope every season, and then they just whip the carpet out from underneath you. And I think, from my point of view, that really got to me last week. But you know what? I was obviously sitting back, having some time to reflect. I think the big thing that hit me was, guys, we haven't done badly this season. I mean, if we look at the games, the amount
bigger
of
picture,
played, and the bigger picture of this, I went in, man. I went in on
Tamina.
I love Tamina. I went in on people. Like, I even went in on Declan Rice. I think he's come out in the media. He said, you know, he said his piece, and I think I liked what he said. And I think a lot of people were saying, you know, where's Odegaard? You know, where's this captain? Blah blah. I think we need to take into context that he's just not that type of captain. He's not going to come out. He's not going to say those things. But I like what Declan Rice said. We all said something to each other that needed to be said. And I think that's what I want. That's the passion I want. I want them to get into their change room and go, do you know what? You played awfully, mate. What were you doing? Why were you not passing the ball forward there? Or likewise, why did you take that chance? What was behind it? And I think on analysing after my crash out, do we have weak mentality? Or are these teams like Brentford really turning up against us and going, this is the standard?
There's always an element of that.
This is the standard we want to be. So we got to beat these or beat or draw against these guys to show them the standard we're at. So from my point of view, yes, we should have beaten Wolves. 100% 2-0 lead thrown away. We should have beaten them.
Yeah.
But Wolves didn't play badly. In that second half, that's probably the best game they've played in the entire season so far. So we got to analyze that and go, yeah, we shouldn't have lost that game. Definitely shouldn't have thrown a 2-0 lead away. But we also have to have some perspective here. And I think that's the key for me. Now, what I want to see going forward, and in this game, is a reaction. And I don't, you know, I'm a big person. I don't care about words. I want to see actions. Get in there.
Yeah.
Rip this Tottenham team apart. And you know what? As fans, as Arsenal fans, we're very, very reluctant to say. I put a poll in the Discord earlier. I don't know what's been said. I've been putting the kids to bed. But I said in the Discord, if we go there tomorrow, and I put this to the panel, and this will be the last thing I say now, I put this to you guys. If we go to Spurs and we go all out, attack, fluid football, absolutely incredible, what we've wanted to see all season, and we lose 1-0, what's everyone's reaction going to be? Are you happy with that? Because they've gone for it and they've shown that fight and they've shot, but we still lose 1-0? Or do we want
that matters?
Pragmatic, Do we want to take the game as it's being played and possibly play that slightly defensive game, moving the ball around, and then we get that 1 or 2 goal lead? And that's my question to you guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
good point.
I mean, for me, I just wanted to go back to one. That's a really good question. I'm going to come to that back in a second. But I just want to put up here. So Tamina asked if there was any transfer news players or getting in the summer. Please, Bobby, anyone? And then obviously Bobby replied and said, our summer plans are nearly completed. We will have a productive window. Expect some surprise exits, which Bobby has been alluding to for a while now, and some great new additions. Tamina then obviously asked the question, do we know who? Obviously, Bobby's not going to give any names at this stage, but he says he knows 2 of the players. Others will be known by the end of April. So, yeah, thank you for that, Bobby Banger there. So it's a tricky one. I'm just going to kind of give my say on that question specifically, and then I'm going to go back to you, Ali. Obviously, let us know how you were feeling between, obviously, the Wolves result, obviously ahead of the Spurs game, and then obviously feel free to answer the question that Neil's put to us. I mean, you know what? This, to your question of, if we go there, we play, free flow football, really attractive tiki-taka, and we lose the game 1-0. I think every Arsenal fan is going to be disappointed. Well, my perspective is I'm going to be disappointed regardless, because I don't like to lose games. Definitely don't like to lose North London derbies. And as we obviously approach the last 11 games, given, our lead could be by the end of tonight's game down to 2 points, then, the truth is I will be annoyed regardless of how we play if we lose the game. The thing is that I don't care how we play as long as it translates into points and then eventually translates into trophies. I don't care. And I had this conversation with Chelsea fans, because I know a lot of Chelsea fans, a lot of them. My dad, God bless his soul, is a Chelsea fan. So I know the club well. I know a lot of Chelsea fans. They're not all like the ones on X. A lot of them are really reasonable, normal human beings. You can have a proper good conversation with them. They get the whole Abramovich money. They understand it, but you know what? They're fans of the club, and they despised the way Mourinho played football. They genuinely did. But the reason why it was never an issue was because when he was winning. When he was winning, and that was translating into 3 points, the best defensive record in the league, Champions League, Premier League, Cups, it wasn't an issue. As soon as the trophies dried up, and then eventually the acquisition of 3 points, and they started to slide down the table, that's when all of a sudden they started to get on about the style of play, and they also started to get on about his antics. Because believe it or not, a lot of Chelsea fans didn't actually like the way Mourinho carried himself on the touchline, in press conferences and stuff like that. But none of that is an issue when you're winning. None of that's an issue when you're winning, because at the end of the day, let's face it, us fans, all we care is about winning. That's all we care. If we scored, even if we were to go on and win every single game, boring, slow, side-to-side football, 1-0 between now and the end of the season, we win the league. Genuinely, when I'm in London at the parade and I'm literally out of my face with all you, man, I'm not going to give a flying how we did it.
Absolutely.
However, personally, I would prefer our style of play to be different. Personally, I prefer us to have a more attractive, more offensive style of play. But there is context to it. And that's my rationale to it. So for me, tomorrow is all about the result. It's all about the result. We've got to get the 3 points and we've got to bounce back. My only fear is this style of play sustainable? Is this style of play, is this the way we win games, the way, we have been winning games, is it sustainable? But the point you make earlier, Neil, is a really, really good point. And I think that's where the whole idea of Arsenal fans being outraged, obviously after the Wolves game, and then all of a sudden now feeling a lot more calmer, because when you do look at the bigger picture and the grand scheme of things, we've lost 3 games all season. We're top in the Champions League. We're in both the domestic cups, doing really, really well. So it does feel a little bit stupid, but hopefully I answered that question. For me, my personal preference is a different style of play. However, I have no issues with the way Arteta sets up the lads and how they play, because at the end of the day, we are top of the league, but we've got to the point, for me personally, now in this project where this style of play has to translate to trophies. If it doesn't translate to trophies, then the more, I'll be honest, the more this style of play starts to grate on me. But yeah, I'll come to you, Coach Ali. So in a way, you've kind of got 2 questions, Coach. You've got obviously your roller coaster of emotions from Wolves to now, how you're feeling. And then obviously that really good question from Neil, which is, does it matter? If we were to go out tomorrow and play, perform the best we've performed, but then still lose the game 1-0 anyway. Like, does the style of play really matter?
Yeah, so obviously from the other night, none of us here have any regrets of how we came across. It's just emotional football. We're all calm, respectful individuals, and listen, if that happens again at some point in the season, I'm sure we'll end up showing our emotions further down the line. So that's that. Very calm afterwards. The morning after wasn't great. It's more, I think, this accumulation of draws in the last 7 games that got me to that point personally. Overall this season, as you've all said, we've done well. We are doing well. But when you draw 4 out of 7 games, and in the manner that we have been going about it, it then becomes a frustration, and then it spills into what happened the other day. Basic errors, not too many shots on our goal, as Mikel said in his press conference yesterday. So I agree with what he's saying, but we're not keeping enough clean sheets to win the title at this point in time. And as you boys have alluded to, we are playing a brand of football that is not free flowing like Wenger ball, and it's not as tight as George Graham's 1-0 to the Arsenal. We're kind of lost in the middle of those 2 eras of football. And what I would like to see from this point onwards, and I've been hoping to see from the Leeds game onwards, which we saw in a couple of games, and then we kind of went off track in our last 2, is a mixture of both, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Defensively solid, and then in possession, depending on territory and where we are on the pitch, we can then take the handbrake off and start playing triangles and 1-2 touch football. Now, for me, take your time at the back, no problem. Pass it into midfield. But as soon as we get it over the halfway line into 5-10 yards into their half, that's when we have to pick up the speed and the pace of the ball and how we move it around. So that's all down to how our midfielders and defenders pop the ball into attacking areas. So it's not just down to the attackers to move. It's all about the intention of the pass. And the intention of the pass to go out wide, the intention to pass through the middle of the pitch is too slow. Now, we can blame the manager, or we can blame the players. I think it's a little bit of both, because we have the players to deliver that. And I believe we've got the manager that has delivered that in 22-23 season. We keep going around and around about when it comes to Arteta and his tactics and so on. But I'm always going to look at the coaching side of things as well as a fan's point of view. And for me, there's no reason or no excuse for Mikel not to play a mixed brand. So be defensively solid. And then as soon as we touch the halfway line going into the opposition half, let's move that ball around quickly and get them out of position so we can find Victor Gyökeres a little bit quicker, so we can find Saka a little bit quicker. So he's in a one-on-one situation rather 2 or 3-on-1, Because if we keep going sideways, what do you expect our wingers to do this season? Teams have found us out a little bit this season, so we need to adapt our style. Another caveat I will put to this, and I've been thinking about this for months and months, is Mikel Arteta playing this way just to get over the line?
I think so.
And then he'll like kind of loosen up in his attacking play from next season onwards if he secures the Premier League or the Champions League, if that makes sense. So I think he's proven that he can play that way. And the players that we have bought in over the past few seasons suggest we can play free-flowing football. Yeah. So for me, if Mikel never had the 22-23 season, I'll be saying, if you don't win the league or the Champions League, you're going to have to go, mate, because you're doing it every single season. But in 22-23, he proved for pretty much the whole season that we can play free-flowing attacking football. And to be fair to him this season, in the Cups, we are banging in 3, 4, 5 goals pretty much in every group stage. And in the FA Cup, we've been getting some kind draws. But I think seasons gone by, we would have won those games 2-0 rather than 4-0. Do you know what I mean? So we are showing signs in the Cups that we can play offensive and attractive football. But it's the Premier League where I really do feel like the Premier League has gone 360, European football and Premier League. Back in the 90s and the early noughts, it was very defensive, very tactical, very cagey games in Europe.
Very good
point. Because of the away goal and so on and so forth. And the Premier League was like Europe is today. So it's now flipped round. Is that because the tactical ability of managers has improved in the Premier League, lower down? Because we're getting a lot more foreign managers come in? Is it because we got more knowledge as a nation and this is how we want to play our brand of football? Is it because of Guardiola? Is it because of Klopp? Is it because of Wenger and so on and so forth? And then it's obviously going in cycles.
Good observation.
But if you take our we scored 20 goals in 8 games in the Champions League. That's a not bad ratio. But Europe used to be very a tight affair, very compact. You win 3-1, 3-2 on aggregate over 2 legs. We don't really see that anymore. Teams are losing 5 the other night. Newcastle 6-1 away from home. Inter Milan losing 3-1 to Bodo Glimt. Normally a first leg of a Champions League double header. 0-0, 1-0. Oh, we'll take that and go back to ours, and then we'll try to sneak it and get to extra time. Those days are gone. And in the Prem, when teams play against Arsenal Football Club, they give us the respect that we deserve. But it's up to us as a team, going back to the Wolves game now, to stay focused, to stay composed in pressure situations. For me, that was Raya's ball. And Gabby took it out of his hands. Because we can't say as a rule, the penalty box is the goalkeeper's area, and then when Raya comes out to catch and claim the ball, which he was easily going to do that. He was not fumbling the bag there.
And that is one of his strengths.
And just lack of communication, like G and Geeks and Dodzy. So it's like, what frustrated me the most is the 4 draws. It's not the performance against Wolves, because that can happen, but it's happening. The worrying signs are there in terms of it's not the first time this season. We are not keeping enough clean sheets, and I really do believe. Well, exactly. Who said that? Sahir has said Reyes scream. I heard Reyes scream. There we go. So that's Big Gabby's fault, and he was obviously lashing out his frustration onto his keeper. But I think that was more, rather than arguing with Raya, I think that was more frustration on his behalf to be like, "Oh, for God's sake!"
It was. And
then if we're looking at the pattern and where this all began, Stadium of Light, it was the similar situation. Raya and Gabby, I think it was, and that for me in that instance, that was more on Raya because he was too far away. And if he had stayed on his line, he might have saved the shot from, I always mess up his name. Is it Robbie? Hit the goal to make it 2-2. So Arteta, one final point is Arteta says And he's right to say we are conceding extremely late in games, whether it's Stadium of Light, Villa Park, the Emirates versus Manchester United, when we were 2-2. That's one extra point. So now we look back on that and we were complaining as fans, why didn't we win against Manchester United? Now, if that was a draw, we'll be 6 points clear at this point and 3 points tonight, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So these points do matter, but it's in the fashion that we're losing these points is quite worrying, because we're not playing to the whistle. We're not playing to the final whistle. We've conceded against Wolves in the final minute. Man United, what was that? 90+2 or whatever it was, or
it was late in the game.
It was. Villa Park, 95+ conceded. Sunderland, Stadium Light, conceded last minute again. So it's fine margins in football. We done the reverse to Wolves, what they done to us the other night at the Emirates. So it swings and roundabouts of a 38 Premier League game season, but they've got to fix that. And it's not just the attack that needs fixing at this point. It's our defense.
Yeah.
So we can talk about our attack all we like, but if we're scoring 2 goals on average a game, why now all of a sudden are we letting in 1, 2 goals, 3 goals against United quite regularly? It's quite worrying. So maybe we should start talking about our defense as well.
Yeah.
Right. And lastly, Nick, aka Geeks, obviously the original question from Neil, aka Dodsey. If you could just repeat the question, Neil, because I don't want to misquote you.
That's fine. Yeah, it was just if we go there, play expansive football, play the free flowing football we want. The guys showing heart, which is what we want, all of us, but we lose 1-0.
Yeah.
Is that acceptable? Is that not acceptable? Is that, I mean, in my opinion, I give my answer before Nick. Just it's not, I want to win trophies. That's it. I want trophies. I hope that we go there and we score at least 2 set pieces. Will make me happy. And I hope Frank's in the crowd as well. That'd be great as well in the Arsenal end. But yeah, over to you, Nick.
No, I think right now we've got to take substance over style, and that is substance is going to get us a trophy. We've done style and come second, right? We felt we scored the 90-odd goals and we came second. We've done all of that. I think we just have to, sometimes there is that bit where being a bit pragmatic at this point to try and get those points. I understand it. It just makes them very, very easy targets when it goes wrong, because it's like there's nothing to get the fans infused about. You know, it's like you're boring the people in the crowd as well as the other teams into submission. And there is truth to all of that, you know, and I do understand it. Oh, we're playing for corners, or we're playing for this. And it's like, yeah, okay, I do. When they're calling us Stoke, that's a bit disingenuous, because it's like Stoke were in their own third for the majority of the game, and then long balling it out, where we are in majority of the time in somebody else's third. And so we are getting own goals and we're getting corners and we're getting all of this stuff because we are trying, we are probing. I feel there are things we can do to help a little bit more, though. We can be quicker from defence through teams. I feel like, as we've touched on, midfielders have got to stop going sideways. We're bypassing 2 people that we've brought in. We need to go a little bit more direct and really put it on teams, because I feel like they're starting to get comfortable with our our style. They're not fearing it. They're not fearing the front 3.
Yeah.
They know if they go direct against us that they can get at Saliba. They get that, I think Timber's fatigued, to tell you the truth. The left side is constantly in a state of flux. Not that we have bad players there, just there's nothing settled there.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of moments nerves creep in. And I don't know if Gabby knows Saliba's off his game. That makes him edgy. Do you know what I mean? I think sometimes people can get the yips, can't they?
Yeah.
I think the defence are coming out of defensive positions far too often, and they're in attacking third, not benefiting the attack. And then when we're defending, I'd like to see just Gabby and Saliba sit for a few games. The
Yeah.
guys just into midfield a little bit more and gently on the attack on the wings, and let the attacking players do their job. But to answer the question, yeah, I will take results over style right now.
Yeah, no, I hear it. I hear it. I'm gonna just remove this quickly. Yeah, it's interesting. I think we all have our opinions on style of play because we've all played the game to some extent, whether it be in the backyard, school playground, semi-pro, whatever it is, we've all played the game and we've all watched the game our entire lives. And you know, there are different teams, including our own, under different managers. But I enjoy watching all football. I grew up watching a lot of Serie A, Football Italia, because we only had terrestrial TV.
Channel 4.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? When I was growing up. Yeah, that's
Lazio.
it. That's it, you know. And then obviously, you know, watching the Euros and World Cup and African Cup of Nations and Copa America.
Yeah.
And all of us will have a preference of what teams we enjoy watching. And some people really enjoy the way Arteta plays, you know. Plays football, how his team plays football, and others prefer a different style. But I think you summed it up brilliantly there. You know, Nick, when you said right now it is about substance. You know, we're at a stage now in the season with 11 Premier League games to go where I'm not in desperation for Mikel Arteta to switch it up, to change it up, if I'm completely honest. In an ideal world, I'd want us to play more attractive football. But ultimately, after however many games it's been, we are still top of the league. However many games it's been in Europe, we're still top the Champions League table. Absolutely. We're in both the domestic cups. So we do also have to use like a certain level of rationale and logic to this as well, because it's all well and good saying that, oh, the style of play is rubbish and, you know, we're awful to watch. We are literally still in for a potential quadruple. So, you know, he is getting results. We've literally lost the least amount of games as any other team. So, and you know, if you just look some of the stats that came up on the screen in terms of possession, in terms of goals scored, in terms of goals scored from open play, you know, we're first, they're 16th. You know, we're literally, it couldn't get any different in terms of chalk and cheese seasons of the two North London clubs. One is battling for the title, and the other one is on the brink of being dragged into a relegation battle here. So do you know what I mean? And many people would actually say, you know, Spurs arguably play better attacking, flowing football than us, but they're sitting 16th. And we're sitting top of the Premier League. So I think it was a really, really good question, Neil. And I think it's one of those things that we've kind of tiptoed around for a while, but we haven't actually really discussed on the stream. So yeah, appreciate that. And obviously you heard from the panel. Let us know your thoughts, obviously, in the comments. You know, your thoughts in general on our style of play. If you would want Mikel Arteta to switch things up back to the 22-23 season between now and the end of the season, or do you stick with what you got? It got us this far. Can it get us over the line? But obviously, I've put up quite a few of the stats, but I am very much aware that we've already been half an hour on the stream. And I mean, what's pretty obvious from the stats that I showed, I know some of you in obviously were watching the stats. I know Ali, I could see Ali really concentrating on those stats. We are literally having chalk and cheese season. You know, I mean, the two seasons between the two North London clubs could not be any more different. Let's be real. So as we approach obviously this game, my question is, before we actually get onto the predicted lineup and see what that is and see how, if there are any Spurs players that, you know, we're fearful of, or what our thoughts are on the predicted lineup. I mean, Ali, is this a must-win North London derby?
Oh my God. It's been must-win for the last 7 games. We've brought through. So listen, this is Arsenal Football Club. When you're a big football club and you have high expectations, we should be looking to win every single game. So the pressure is there. The pressure on the world, our shirt weighs heavy. So and these players need to show that they can wear the shirt chest out and with a little bit of swag. Last 7 games, they've buckled a bit, and I would like us just to tighten that buckle. And I'm literally just focused on one game. We need to win against Spurs. That's a prerequisite. But I don't class Tottenham Hotspur as a rival. It's just another game for me. I grew up on Man United and
They're just
Chelsea.
a neighbour.
Literally, it's just a postcode thing, really.
Yeah.
And that's not me bantering. That's me being extremely honest. My heart rate has not moved. I'm not worried about this team. They're as good as West Ham. They talk a lot, but they're not very good. And that shows in their ownership. They've got an outstanding stadium. I went there to watch Joshua versus Usyk. That's all they're good for. They're good for entertainment. So for me, win the game tomorrow, and let's keep it moving, because we're Arsenal Football Club. We are the Arsenal for a reason. We are a classy football club. Okay. And Man United were the rivals growing up for me. That was the first fixture I looked at. The London rival that I have as class as my first London derby I look at is Stamford Bridge, not White Hart Lane or Shite Hart Lane or the toilet bowl they've got. I'm not interested in them because they don't win trophies, and they're not consistent with where they want to be and how they speak as a fan base. They don't act like a big club. We were in the doldrums and they didn't make any dent in our trophy haul. And now we're back above them. Listen, it's a derby game for them, for other fans in that stadium, whatever, home and away fans. But me personally, this is just another game like playing Fulham, West Ham, Crystal Palace. I'm not even bantering.
No,
I'm probably going to get clipped for this, but this is the reality.
Facts right now, yeah.
I'm 40 years old. I've been watching Arsenal since I was 7. I haven't seen nothing change. Even when they had Pochettino for those 6, 7, 8 years, we were so shit, and we smoked them pretty much every time at home. And we drew a couple, lost a couple at their place. So what? Like, do you know what I mean? And normal service has been resumed the past few seasons, and let's keep that going. We can't go into this game, and I'm not being arrogant, because look what we did against Wolves, and they're bottom of the league. So no, there's no easy games, but I expect 3 points tomorrow with a +2 on the goal difference.
No, I hear it. I mean, what I do know is that I know, we're a lot calmer now, obviously, since the Wolves game, and we're kind of looking at this all logically and rationally. What I do know, though, before we get onto these predicted lineups, is that all hell is going to break loose if we don't get a win tomorrow. That is for sure. But we will be here. For sure. We will be here, people, because we'll remind you of that at the end of the show. We will be going live at 6:45 p.m. tomorrow for a kind of instant reaction after the North London derby. So please do put that in your diaries. Yes, Ali.
One thing I'd like to add to what you just said there, if all hell breaks loose tomorrow, it's not because we've lost to Tottenham. It's because we're falling further behind in the title race.
Bingo. So yeah, absolutely.
There's context to be added.
Absolutely.
Like I said, with all due respect, I'm not fussed. Chelsea at the Emirates is the game. We need to get through this game, and we need to beat Chelsea at home, because Chelsea are a very good side, and they will do their utmost to stop us winning the league. And Spurs will try. And I look at this lineup here, and they've got some decent players. But we should be winning this game on form. We should be winning this game just in terms of the size of the clubs. We're better than them off the pitch, and let's prove tomorrow that we are better than them on the pitch.
Right. That kind of brings me nicely, actually, to you, Nick. Looking at this Spurs side, I mean, if this is obviously what we're looking now at the screen is the predicted lineups for tomorrow's North London derby. If this is the lineup that Spurs go with, and if you noticed in the previous slides, they do have quite a few injuries at present. They've been kind of plagued with injuries for most of the season, to be fair.
Unbelievable.
But if you look at this starting 11, is there anybody in the Spurs 11 that ahead of the game, you're thinking to yourself, okay, cool, yeah, we've got to keep that one quiet, or we've got to make
Yeah.
sure if we take them out of the game, then there's a very high chance we actually win it.
So for me, their strength is I'm very impressed with Paulinho this season. I think he's been solid for them. Van der Ven is a pacey centre back. There's times when for me he's a little bit naive, but by and large he is a quality defender. And then I think Gallagher was a sound signing for them.
Good signing,
really do.
I agree.
Very good signing. And you look at the lineup, I think it's like each season with Spurs, they are worse than what they should be on paper.
Yep.
But they've had so many injuries that they've blooded so many players that when that squad actually comes back together with a new manager, which could be Pochettino for next year, and only league football, they could be a bit of a problem next year. Do you think they'll be on a new manager bounce? Homecoming.
They've got some good players.
They have got some good players. But going forward, I mean, Kolomiani is a decent player. Decent-ish player. Simmons hasn't really struck, but he can. I feel like in Europe he probably has more of an impact for them, and in the Premier League he looks a little bit like our Portuguese player from a couple of seasons ago,
Fabio Vieira.
A bit lightweight. Do you know what I mean? It's got all of the ability at the moment, but the one that worries me a little bit, if he plays, is Solanke. It's just that sort of game,
He's a gooner, isn't he?
And not enough people respect him, and he just pops up with it with those sort of goals. It's that sort of strike.
Good finisher.
Man City a couple of weeks ago.
So for me, they are the five that I would be looking at.
Yeah, no problem. I'm going to come to you, Neil, but then I'm also going to give you, Coach Ali, and Nick an opinion on the Arsenal lineup. So for those of you who are listening and not watching and can't see the graphic, the predicted lineup is a Raya and goal, a back four of Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Zubi, midfield three of Zubi, Rice, and Odegaard, and then a front three of Saka, Trossard, and Gyökeres. So this is the predicted lineup. This is what quite potentially could be the team that we filled, obviously, in the North London derby. So, Neil, give me your thoughts. What do you like? What do you dislike? What would you change?
Yeah, I mean, like last week, I was happy with the team. This week, I'm equally happy with the team. I think Timber needs a break. I'd probably put Ben White in. If he's fit enough to go from the start, I'd probably give Ben White the nod. And that's purely because I think I rate Timber massively. But I personally believe Ben White, particularly if we're starting Saka on the left wing as well, I think their link up and their sort of play together, I think is strong. So that would be one change I'd make. Happy with Calafiori, he's my boy, but I think Hincapi has really been showing a lot recently for me. But again, I wouldn't be overly disappointed if Calafiori started. Zubimendi Rice, I don't think you're going to change that, even though, again, I think Zubimendi looks tired. Declan Rice, I just don't know how he does it week in, week out. That tank is incredible. For me, I don't think you start with Odegaard. Personally, he hasn't played. He got a bit of a knock. I don't think you start. And then I also think, and I know Eze, but the dude scored a hat-trick against these guys. He's clearly got a bit of a vendetta against them, and he clearly doesn't like them. So personally, I start Eze in there. Or if you're playing Odegaard and Saka, I'd take Trossard out and I put Eze on the left, give you that extra something. And then, happy with Gyökeres up front. I think he needs to start going.
No problem. Coach Ali?
Solid lineup. I want Mosquera to play this game. I know it's controversial, and it's not gonna happen. But me personally, Mosquera is our form defender. He's fresh, he's fit, he's athletic, he's good in the air. Dragerson is a very good, strong defender for them. I see Paulinho playing in a 3 at the back. Very interesting, because obviously he's their holding midfielder.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how these names actually line up on the pitch. Because if Paulinho is one of their centre halves, he's not the quickest in terms of in short spaces. So playing Calafiori and then having Eze on the left could potentially work a treat. because they're going to have to do a lot of defending if that is the case. And playing 3 at the back against this Arsenal side will allow us to play into the channels more, which hopefully will free Gyökeres a bit more. And then the rotations then can happen infield, drifting Eze from the left into the left-hand spaces and so on and so forth. It's going to be very interesting. I'm happy with that lineup. If that is the lineup tomorrow, I'm not going to sit here and go, oh my God, that's an absolute disgrace and we're going to lose the game. No, not at all. But I just want to pick players on form, to be honest. If I had to pick a 10, I want Havertz. I don't know, G, is he on the injury list, Havertz?
I said 90%.
Yeah, I think if we flick back to...
Sorry, man. I just wanted to...
Did I flick back? Maybe I flicked back too far.
It was 92%.
Oh, there it is.
There
it's
it
the
is,
out list.
one back.
Yeah, so Odegaard 93%,
So now,
Havertz 92.
Looking at these percentages, that means they're fit and they should be on the bench tomorrow.
Substitution, yeah.
Yeah.
So now, if Odegaard starts and Havertz come on, I'd rather Havertz start for 60 minutes or play even 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they can switch and Eze, whatever. But yeah, happy with that lineup in general, G. And we got a strong squad ready for tomorrow by the looks of it.
Yeah. And lastly, Nick, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm concerned with, if I'm to be honest, we need a big step up in performance because Saliba versus Solanke, aerial balls as well, that is what concerns me a little bit. Calafiori can sometimes be a bit stiff at times. Do you know what I mean? I feel like he can get stood up if you can sometimes send him for a hot dog if you're tricky enough. I just feel like coming back, is White Hart Lane the best reintroduction for him? I think I would continue with Hincapié for continuity.
Yes,
that would just be where that's where my brain is at. Not any harshness towards Calafiori. I next week Chelsea, whenever, yeah, fine. And then Odegaard. We need the old Odegaard, the one that was inventing skill moves as he was going forward.
Yeah.
That's what we need. If it's that Odegaard, oh yeah. But the current one that we've had for the past 2 seasons, does he make an impact that we need against Tottenham? I don't know. That's what worries me a little bit. I want pace. I would rather now. G, me and you usually have this conversation, right?
Yeah.
This is Martinelli up against is Paulinho or Dragusin is over on that side.
That's a good shout.
I want Saka or Martinelli up against them. Because let's face it, Van der Ven is all the pace, right? So he's going to probably anchor the middle or whatever way. And so I want my pace up against one of those. Like I'm telling my wingers, get at these boys. I know there's Jed Spence and we've got Udogie that they can probably flip around and all the rest of it. But that would end up them playing in a 5-back, which I'm sure the Tottenham faithful would be on their backs if they were trying to do that. So for me, it is kind of a case of I want my pace up against those defenders. So that's a flip.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it would be pretty simple. I would start Hincapié over Calafiori. I would, at 92%, I'd have Havertz in the 10. And very simple, I wouldn't play Trossard. I'd play either Martinelli on the left, or if not Martinelli, I'd have Eze in on the left. That's what I would do. I think like Ali said, like I wouldn't be pulling my hair out if that's the 11 that takes the field at the start of tomorrow's game. However, I would tweak it slightly. I think the points you make about Calafiori coming in at White Hart Lane, there's something I did notice, like when I was doing my homework on Calafiori when he was playing, I think it was for Bologna, really good player. Obviously, we know he's a good player,
awesome
but
player.
he can sometimes get a little bit too tight, and he can get turned and just left in the wilderness. That is an area where I've noticed it in a Bologna shirt and I've noticed it in an Arsenal shirt. So I think, as someone said, for continuity, it just makes sense. Continuity, form. He just scored his first goal for the Arsenal. Hincapié just makes sense. And even though there's not going to be uproar here, but we would prefer somebody else, I think there's going to be an absolute meltdown on the timeline if Odegaard starts tomorrow. I really, really do. Because I just think I think people right now, and it goes back to one of the questions about Saka being in the 10. I think right now people would prefer to actually see Saka in the 10 position than Odegaard take the field as a general kind of consensus. And I don't think there's much hate towards Trossard, but I just think, as you said, as Spurs high line, the lack of pace on either side of their defense at the moment, I think it makes sense to have somebody like a Martinelli or like an Eze that can kind of hit them on the break and punish them with that pace. We've reached a point in the stream where it's either
time
marvelous or it's madness. So we're gonna start at the top with Coach Ali. So this is where people, for those of you, any of you been tuning in for the first time, I know most of you are regulars watching our content, but this is where Bobby's people, because I don't know them specifically by name, give us their choice of lineup, not predicted lineup, but the lineup that they would like to see start the game. And sometimes these are marvelous, sometimes these are madness. And what we do is I go through each one of the panel, and each person will decide not for each lineup, but Coach Ali will get the first one, Nick will get the second one, and then so on. And what we will do is they will score it out of 10, and they will give you a rationale or logic as to why. And remember, this is all opinion based. This is their personal opinion. You may feel differently, and if so, feel free to drop a comment in the comments. So, Coach Ali, you've got your first lineup of Raya in goal, a back four of White, Mosquera, Gabriel, and Hincapié. I quite like that.
Yeah, so do I.
Anyway, I'm not going to say nothing. It's not my time.
Yeah, I agree.
Midfield three of Zubi, Rice, and Eze, and then a front three of Saka, Trossard, Gyökeres. Go on, Coach Ali. Give it to us.
I'll give that a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Ben White, Timber. There's nothing wrong with Timber in terms of play. Ability-wise, he's up there. He's elite. I think he needs a break. He needs a rest. So if White comes in, more than happy with that. He's played well for Arsenal for many seasons. I can't remember. I mean, what, boys? Handful of games that Ben White might have had a bad game in an Arsenal shirt.
He doesn't often play badly.
So Mr. Reliable there, Mosquera, I want him in, and Big Gabby, left foot, right foot combination. Hincapié deserves to stay in the side. He's picking up form at the right time. Zubimendi, Rice. I would like Rice in the 6, Zubimendi in the 8, and then I would have Eze and Saka and Trossard rotating all across the front. So Eze could be playing up in the 10. Trossard could play in the 10. Saka moves out to the right. Trossard then goes into the 10. Eze goes out to the left. There's plenty of combinations there to be had, especially if Tottenham do have all these injuries. And if that's all they got in terms of their lineup, I really do believe we should just really go for the kill in the first half and see if we can get 1 or 2 goals ahead. Because I think the Spurs fans and then the players will just drop their heads because they know what's coming next. And in a game like this, I would like us to, if we get 1 or 2, then we have to keep going 3, 4, and so on. If that ends up being the case. But it's a London derby. At the end of the day, you never know what's going to happen. 9 out of 10.
No, I hear it. I'm going to come to you, Neil. You've got a lineup of Raya and goal. You've got a back four of Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapié. Midfield 3 of Zubi, Rice, Saka. And then a front 3 of Madueke, Trossard, and Gyökeres.
Yeah, I mean, again, happy with that. I'm happy with Saka in the 10 if he wants to give it a go. And like you said, again, they can be mixing it up, moving around. My only difference is I think Eze. I'd probably have Eze. I'd probably have the lineup you had, Coach Ali. Just purely and simply. But for me, again, an 8. I think it's a decent side. I think it's good enough. I mean, it's good enough to beat these chumps. A team like that should be beating them. A team last week should have been beating Wolves. So you know what? I throw my hands up.
Yeah, hear it. Nick, will come to you. You've got a lineup of Raya and goal. Back four of Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapié. Midfield 3 of Zubi, Rice, and Saka. And a front 3 of Madueke, Eze on the left, and Gyökeres through the middle.
Do you know what? Because the way that Saka, Madueke, and Eze could interchange, Saka could drift out to the left, Eze could come central, they could wing play and all the rest of it. I would give that a 9 also, just because I can see the potential of those front three rotating. Gyökeres being a battering ram. The defence is the defence. I agree with Nketiah, and then of course Zubi and Rice anchoring. So no, I like that because I feel like we need to get at them. I feel we need to keep them under pressure in that first 20, 25 minutes. I like that a lot. So that's a 9 from me. Yeah.
No problem. Thanks, Nick. Back to you, Coach Ali. You've got starting 11 of Raya and goal, back 4 of White, Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapié, midfield 3 of Zubi, Rice, Madueke, and then you've got a front 3 of Saka, Eze, and Gyökeres.
I like the team, but obviously if we're going in this order of lineup, and if Madueke is playing in a 10, that's a 5 out of 10 lineup. But the personnel is fine as long as we were to switch Saka into the 10, Madueke plays on the right. Again, that interchangeable 3 behind Gyökeres, it makes sense. If we're going to adjust that lineup and not stick to Madueke in the 10, I'll give that also an 8 or even a 9.
No problem. Thank you. Back to you, Neil. We have Raya and goal, back 4 of White, Mascara, Gabriel, and Hincapié. So this person has decided to drop Saliba for the game. Midfield 3 of Zubi, Rice, and Madueke. And then a front 3 of Saka, Jesus, and Gyökeres. I can tell by your face this is probably more of the madness than the marvelous. But yeah, give us a score out of 10 and a reason why.
I mean, I like the back. I think the back. The back. I'm happy with that midfield. You can't put Madueke in the number 10 role, as Coach Ali said. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It just doesn't work. And Jesus, man, I'm not having any of it. I'm not having any of it, mate. So I'm going to give that a 5.
No problem. No problem. Say it how you see it. And remember, people, you may feel differently, but this is obviously our individual panels, personal opinions on the lineup. We all have our opinions on them. So it is what it is. And lastly, I'll come back to you, Nick, aka Geeks. Raya and goal, back 4 of White, Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapié, midfield 3 of Zubi, Rice, and Eze, and then a front 3 of Saka, Madueke, and Gyökeres.
Yeah, I like this. But I'm just going to point out, though, gents, through these lineups, we've had White, Mascara, and Calafiori sort of dotted around. How good is that we can make 3 changes like that to our defence and we don't get nervy? That is absolutely phenomenal. So, that's power to us, right?
And I just think before you, Bobby's guys tonight are on it because they're only showing Jesus once in the starting lineup.
Yeah, only one guy was smoking something. On this one, I like this. I would give that a 9. White. I like the white with the possible Saka link up, resting off the timber. There's nothing wrong with that. And again, we've got our interchangeable. What I feel like the 3. Yeah, that gets the job done. Hopefully.
No problem, no problem. And obviously that brings an end to obviously the marvelous and the madness that is the lineups from Bobby's Peoples.
Yep.
But yeah.
It needs its own jingle, doesn't it? Like
Bobby's
Peoples.
It does.
It
does. It really does. But yeah, so we're kind of at the point now of the show where we're gonna do score predictions. So I just want to big up obviously Bobby in the background. For obviously getting all the graphics done for us as he does every single show and being in the background just in case any of us get a little bit stuck or anything like that. Big up all the people that are watching, all the people that are in the comments and so forth. We're going to go to obviously score predictions. Obviously, those of you in the comments, if you can actually put what your predictions are, that would be really, really good before I actually go around the panel. Dermot's just turned up. We're about to end the 3
well, We're just about to end the stream, but we're doing score predictions. So, bring them in.
What we'll do is 1 second. So please, in the comments, can you put your score predictions in? We will get to score predictions, but obviously we're going to go to Dermot. So welcome, Dermot. Obviously in typical fashion, Spurs fan turns up late, but it's all good. So yeah, let us... And we're going to give you the stage, really. We're going to give you the floor. Obviously, just, let us know your thoughts, obviously, with regards how you're feeling towards, obviously, tomorrow, which is a huge game. Massive 3 points needed for you lot, so you can avoid the drop, quite clearly. So, yeah, just give us your thoughts on the game, how you see it playing out, who do you want to see start, any Arsenal players that you fear. You've literally got the stage, mate.
Right. Well, firstly, I'm looking forward to not playing Millwall away next season. I think, firstly, I want to get that out of there and actually having an away day at Stoke City in a wet, cold Tuesday evening. It would be nice to watch football without VAR, to be fair, but look, all jokes aside, look, I'm expecting it tomorrow night to be a tight affair. I think both teams need a win. You need a win to keep going for the championship, depending what Man City does before tomorrow. Yeah. Of course, as we know, we're not having the best seasons, but we need the points to avoid the drop. But I think we won't go down. We're too good to go down. I think we've got enough about us to get out there. I'm expecting to be a cagey affair tomorrow. Okay. And it's going to be interesting to see how your guys react to the Wolves game. And I've always said it. Nick knows what I'm going to say, and I think I've said it to you as well, Ali, the last time we were on. I don't think your problem you guys have got is the players. I think it's your manager. And I said at the start of the season that I always thought the only person that will stop you winning the league is going to be your manager. Because he's going to do some tactics somewhere along the line. You're going to be 2-0 up or 2-1 up, and he's going to start playing defensive football, and it's going to come back and bite you in the arse. Wolves included. And that's what happened at Wolves. You started protecting the 2-0 lead. When Arsenal are free-flowing, attacking football, attacking teams, we've seen it this season, there's no other team I don't think can match them. I really do. And I as a Spurs fan, I hold my hands up. Bobby knows, and Nick and the guys know here, I'm very, if I think Arsenal are playing better than us, I will come out and say it. And I think you've been the team of the season. The only person that loses the league is Arteta. But
interesting.
Saying that, I hope we beat the hell out of you tomorrow. I hope we're going to win.
There it is.
We expect nothing less.
I expect us fans to be as one. I expect to be a raucous atmosphere. I think it's an atmosphere. I think. Oh yeah, be more than 12. There'll be 14 there.
Okay, all right.
I have a question. Sorry, mate. Before we carry on, can I get your view on the new manager they've brought in and what you think he's going to achieve for you guys?
Good question. Yeah,
it is. Look, I'm expecting them to stop us going down. That's it. I don't expect them to do anything less. I have read a stat somewhere. His first game, he's won 5 out of 6 games in his first game.
Yeah.
And I feel tomorrow it's a chance for him. If we beat you tomorrow, he's a hero. Whatever else he does, he's an instant hero.
Yeah.
I just don't think. I think tomorrow he's going to have Arteta's number. Because I think he's going to drum it into the players this week how important this game is. This is not like any other Premier League game. Let's not kid ourselves. This is a North London derby. Form goes out the window. This is about North London. This is about who's going to be kings in North London. Yes, you guys got the better of us at the Emirates, and you normally do at the start of the season. This is about what happens between now and the next North London derby.
So, Dermot, can I ask you something?
Yeah. Great question, by the way.
Very good.
Good question, that is.
We beat you 4-1. So do you have to beat us by more than 3 goals to be kings of North London if we're doing it on aggregate?
Yeah, we're going to beat you 5-1. Of course, we're going to wipe the floor. You should know this by now.
Hey.
Gosh.
And that little traitorous West Ham player that came from West Ham, he's going to get sent off tomorrow as well.
Declan Rice is going to get a red card as well.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So are you playing Harry Kane tomorrow?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're flying them in tonight. He's an emergency loan. Did you not see the breaking news, Nick?
Dermot, are these injuries are these injuries accurate? What we're seeing, there's like 12, 13 players missing. Is that correct?
Yeah, there is. We're really in a bad area when it comes to injuries.
Could you give us your starting lineup for Spurs tomorrow then?
I will. I'm going to do a 3-4-3. Well, basically, I'm going to start with 3 at the back. I'm going to play Vicario on goal. Please just go into summer Vicario. Pick anyone else. But I think on that very quickly, I think you lot got the better deal on Reina and Vicario. At the time, we were kept saying we got the better deal. I think Reina's turned into a far better goalkeeper. I never said that once,
but yeah, that's.
I know you didn't, but at the time there was a lot of Tottenham fans saying we got the better deal.
That's a mad comparison. That
it is, but look, start with Vicario on goal. I'm going with the back 3 of Mickey van der Ven, Dragoson in the centre, and Palunia as on the right hand side as a back 3. We're going to start. I'm starting with Sousa and Jed Spence as the wing backs because I think you need to put Spence on the right to get the best out of him. And I think Sousa.
You're going. That'd be a glorified 5-back, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, basically. Going with the midfield.
Is this how Tudor plays, or is it because you've got these injuries that you're playing 5?
Yeah, I think it's how Tudor plays. He likes playing with a 3.
Where's he come from? I don't even know. Genuinely,
he comes from Italy. He's Croatian, but he's
I know he's Italian. But what is his CV as a manager?
Oh, mate, to be fair, Juventus.
Gone
through a few, mate.
Yeah, he has. But he's more of a firefighter than he is as a manager. He's great at getting teams out of trouble, which
he's like the Italian.
We're in, to be honest.
So what's your midfield three, Domo?
Interesting.
You what, Nick?
Your midfield 3. What was your midfield 3?
Midfield 3 is I'm going with Archie Gray and Gallagher, and then Simmons in the 10, and then the front 2. I'm going with the front 2. I'm going with Kolo Morani and Solanke up front.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So what would be
what we put up?
So what would be good then, obviously, at this point, Dermot, is to get your score prediction then. What do you think the score is going to be? Because you come in here, no, 1 second. You come in here with a little bit more chest than I thought you would, given your 16. So, what's the score prediction for tomorrow's North London derby?
In honor for Bobby, if you're watching, Bob, get back soon. We all miss you, boss. We all miss you, brother. In honor for Bobby, this is for you. I'm going for a 4-1 Tottenham win tomorrow. There you go. Now, if I'm being sensible, that was with my heart. If I'm going sensible with my head,
I need to
go 5-1,
bro.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, no, I'm going for a 2-1 Spurs win.
We need to keep our powders right.
Wait.
No, seriously,
okay.
all seeing this, being serious now, I'll go for a 2-1 Tottenham win.
Okay, 2-1 Tottenham win. Coach Ali, what are you saying score wise?
If we pick the right team and turn up, we will smash them.
I said this last week. I'm going to be so conservative this week.
No. Listen,
to be fair, the English coach said that, Ali. The English coach said that before they played Ireland today at Twickenham.
Yeah.
No, I'm not bothered. I don't care about other managers, coaches, whatever. It doesn't bother me.
This is Coach Ali.
That's right. Yeah, it's irrelevant. Whether it's Tottenham, Wolves, Man City, Burnley, Portsmouth, Wigan, I have the same amount of respect for every single team that Arsenal Football Club play. But
except Tottenham.
Actually, so I'm going 3-1 Arsenal, and we keep it moving.
No problem. I'm gonna come to you, Neil. Score line for tomorrow. Score prediction.
Man, last week I went off the hook and said Arsenal are going to pump them 5-0, and mate, I was down in the dumps. Look, I think it's a North London derby. I think Tottenham will always try and turn up against us. I just think I think, look, their starting lineup I don't think will be a bad starting lineup for them tomorrow. I think it'll be a bit cagey in the first 20 minutes of the game because we're Arsenal. We like to make it cagey in the first 20 minutes. But I think where they will fall down is in the second half when they've got children to bring on. Okay. So I'm going to go. Solanke's just scaring me, but I'm going to go 3-0 win to Arsenal tomorrow. I think the boys have got a point to prove. They better come back and prove that point tomorrow. So yeah, 3-0 win to Arsenal.
3-0 win. Nick?
Do you know what? I said 3-0 last week because I could see us getting a couple of goals and I didn't credit them with scoring. And are we going to exercise our demons before we get onto that White Hart Lane pitch? I'm not so sure. Sure. I think we can score against this team. I think it's going to be a bit of a back and forth. Both sides are going to be nervous. Both sides are going to be going for the win. I've got it in my head 3-2 to Arsenal.
Wow, high scoring 3-2.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've got to be honest. I don't think we lose tomorrow, but I'm not necessarily confident that we're going to win either. So a little bit controversial. So I'm going to go for 2-2 draw. I don't fancy our defense at the moment in terms of not conceding. And even going forward, I've got some question marks. I think on the reflection of the game, I think we're going to be the better side. But I really, when we get to this part of the season, I get really nervous about how we perform, how we approach games, mainly how we see out games. And I think we might actually see a little bit more of that tomorrow. I hope I'm wrong, but my gut instinct is telling me 2-2 for tomorrow's game. So we'll see. We'll see how it flows. We'll see how it goes. Coach.
The reality of the situation is this. If Arsenal don't win tomorrow, forget the league. Because we've messed up the last 7 games, Dermo. We've had 4 draws, mate. Yeah. It's not acceptable. So that the crash out that fans were having all across socials and so on, it's not the Wolves game. It's the last 7 game block. It's 1 loss, 2 wins and 4 draws. So that has to end somewhere. And if you want to go and win this league, you have to show the mentality on the pitch. Because Dermo said earlier it's about Arteta. No. It's all about the players now.
Yeah.
So they need to start playing, because I've seen Mikel Arteta on the sidelines pushing these boys forward to press and play in opposition's halves. So there's only so much a manager can do. And if the players want to then sit back and be comfortable doing that, you then have to keep clean sheets, which they're not doing. So be more offensive. And the only reason I've gone 3-1 is because of what I see in Spurs have got lots of injuries. So if they had Romero playing because he wasn't suspended, Udogie playing and so on and so forth, I probably would have said a draw or 2-1. But with the lineup that Spurs have got, it's about playing teams at the right time in the season. We're not going to get a better chance to play a Spurs side at White Hart Lane with the amount of injuries they have, with Odegaard and Havertz on 93% and 92% fitness to potentially be back in the squad tomorrow. There are no excuses for this team not to go and win the game. Whether it's Tottenham we're playing tomorrow, Liverpool, City, Burnley, doesn't matter. Go out there, play to your potential, and just win the game, because there's no excuses left.
I just think from my point of view, and with the greatest respect to Dermot as well, the injuries are going to play a huge problem tomorrow because of our bench. If we go out, like Dermot even said, if we go out and we play free-flowing football and we attack Tottenham, how we should be playing football every week, by the way.
Correct.
I think we overpower them. I really do. And then I think we've got the players to come on and control the game. Like I'm hoping Odegaard can come on, control the game, control the ball, because he does that very, very well. We don't like it in the first half. We want to attack teams and put them under pressure. But if he comes on and gives us that control with Rice's engine and the defensive players we've got, I just look, normally, you go 2 years ago, I'd be sitting there going, every time we played Tottenham, I'd be sitting there going, oh, I don't really want to play this game, especially at this crucial time in the season. But I'm actually quite relaxed also, because I think there's going to be a hell of a response from players because of what the media have been saying. I think there's going to be a huge response from the players tomorrow. And that's why I'm going with the 3-0 win. Normally, I mean, with their players that are injured and are out. I mean, the bad thing without Romero playing is we probably won't get a penalty tomorrow. But other than that, I think, from my point of view, I think we just have too much for them tomorrow. I really do, and I'm expecting a big reaction. If I'm wrong, everyone needs to be on this platform
tomorrow at 6:45 p.m.
because I'm going to lose my shit.
For sure. Yeah,
and rightly so, because that's where we are in the season, G and geeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're gonna wrap things up now. We've been online on the stream for about an hour and 15 minutes. So, Bobby, can you do your thing and give our guests the stage?
There he is, our boy.
Yeah, I'm going on in about 4 minutes with my own match day build up. So I know Nick's coming over. If anyone else wants to join us to come over, you're more than welcome. Nick's got the link. But yeah, I'm over at THFC 2 Would Die, the home of Tottenham past, present, and of course the exciting future under the mighty Cockerel, the proper North London club, not these wannabes. Yeah, we're doing match day build up tomorrow. We are doing
North
match
Middlesex,
day after so we're closer. But also I will say, win, lose or draw, if these guys will have me, I will come on here like I did in the first North London derby. So win, lose or draw, I will be here for your post-match if that's okay. Just to either come in and congratulate you, or to come in and just wind you all up because we've just beaten you. But no, and I just say very quickly, may the best team win tomorrow. Let's hope for a cracking game and let's show the world what North London derby is all about. This isn't about league. This isn't about positions. This is about pride, North London, and what it means to be a Tottenham or Arsenal fan. Let's have a cracking day tomorrow and may the best team win.
Yeah.
Big up.
Yeah, thank you for having me on again, as always, guys. I appreciate it. You can find me on Football Takeover as much as possible. Do go out, like, share, subscribe. It's a great community. Particularly get involved with the Discord. Really, really good guys in the Discord with really good points of view and good information as well. If you enjoy transfer news and stuff. Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Hey guys, my brain just flew a blank. I'm going to be going over to THFC till we die. I am going into the Lions Den, representing the Arsenal. So let's see what they've got to say. Hopefully tomorrow we are going to smash it. We'll be back here at 6:45 tomorrow, and you can catch me on the Football Takeover. That's where I am these days.
Yes, you can catch us here on Football Takeover. And then you can also give
us
a follow if you can.
Or is it just me?
Just you.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now. Go on.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, you can catch us here on YouTube, on the Football Takeover, Instagram, X, and TikTok, Football TKover. Appreciate you, Dermo, for coming on. And listen, at the end of the day, it's a game of football. Respect you as a person, mate. And as you said earlier, may the best team win. And if that is the case and they both play to the potential, the Arsenal will come out on top.
Yes, people. So, G Talks Arsenal. You can find me on X, which is where I do most of my interacting. So, give me a follow. Feel free. If you want to be part of our Discord, then all you've got to do is ask for a link from anybody who is already in the Discord, or if you send me a DM direct via X, then I can sort that out too. You can find me on obviously our channel, which is the Football Takeover. We will be back tomorrow at 6:45 p.m. for a kind of instant-ish reaction to the North London derby, win, lose or draw. Let's hope that we get the win tomorrow. And I just want to say, whatever Dermot was saying, it's actually what I like to call Spurs Chicken Ball FC. That's what I like to call them. with their little bird on top of the little basketball. It's absolutely hilarious. But I want to big up Bobby in the backstage for doing his thing. As always, big respect to you, because I know you're still obviously on the road to recovery. I want to big up obviously partner in crime, brother from another mother, Coach Ali, Neil aka Dodzy, Nick aka Geeks, obviously regulars on our show and our panels. Big up to all of you, everybody who's watching, everybody in the comments. I want to bring this up because it was literally just about what I was about to say. Please do hit the like and subscribe button on your way out, because it will massively help us obviously grow as a channel. And that's it really. I mean, huge game tomorrow. You know, whatever's happened prior is done. It's really about how we respond, and it is literally the perfect opportunity for the players to not only walk the walk as they've been doing, you know, all week, but actually tomorrow, back it up and give us Arsenal fans, what we need. Get back on track, and hopefully go on to win this Premier League, because that's all we want. But yeah, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope everybody has a lovely evening. Take care. God bless. Come on, you Gunners.